I've been playing a lot of Rags to Riches recently, and I am in desperate need of a new, very cheap house in The Sims. Like, I'm talking 10,000 simoleons max, at least 2 bedrooms. We've got to have a decent amount of space for a very small amount of money. I was gonna build this anyway, and then I figured I might as well take you all along with me. So the goal today is to try and build as big of a house as possible with the smallest amount of money possible. 10,000 simoleons is really not a lot of money, especially to try and fit in 2 bedrooms. We have to think very carefully about where we're placing stuff, because otherwise this is not gonna work. I feel like we could probably get away with bedrooms being this small. We can also probably get maybe a little bit bigger than that. I don't know. It's definitely gonna be a tight squeeze. All right, thoughts on potentially, no, that's way too small, isn't it? All right, hang on. How about this? What if this is the floor plan? This area has to be the living room and kitchen. We've got 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. We can probably fit a desk in here because I'd like to have a desk and a computer. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it, but that would be ideal. We could probably put it up on a slight foundation too. We can't really put it up on like a super tall foundation because we can't really afford to buy stairs, but the small like 1 tall foundation, your Sims can walk up that, so we don't need to worry about paying for stairs. We can also hopefully make the roof line like a little bit more interesting because luckily roofs are free, so we don't have to worry about spending any money on that part. Okay, I realize this is not the most interesting exterior of the building, but I'm trying to do something different because I always do the same kind of starter home. I'm really trying to branch out. Okay, I say that and then I immediately go and grab like the same base game windows I always use. But listen, those are good for this because they're cheap and they have the shutters, so it's like a little bit more interesting. I wonder if you could do this with the base game because most of the cheaper doors, like this one's from Cottage Living, it's only 40 simoleons. This one is 50 simoleons, but then you start getting into like the base game doors and the ones that are like kind of front door like 150. Even this one from Cats and Dogs is 155. Perhaps we allow ourselves a little bit of nifty knitting. Okay, maybe that's fair. Oh, we could also pick a more fun color scheme this way. All right, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna be very careful about literally everything else that I place. What do you think about this? This is kind of a different vibe than I originally was intending, but I think it's kind of cute. Oh my god, and we only have 6,000 simoleons left. This is not doable. I actually think it might not be possible to do this. We will try, but I don't know how well it's gonna work out. I think I'm gonna use the seasons doors because they're pretty cheap. And then maybe along this back wall, we can put the kitchen. Let's just place all the necessities down and then change the colors later because then we actually know we can afford it. Hang on, we're using nifty knitting so we can use that free rug. I forgot about this. Okay, that's actually a big win for us. I might need to put 2 lights in here though. It's kind of dark in this room. Oh, and you know what else? I don't normally put the like walls and flooring in first. Usually I try and wait until the end because I don't know what color to use, but maybe this time around we should do it first just to make sure that we can afford the walls and flooring. We can just put like any color. That way there's like a placeholder in so that we don't go through and do the whole house and then run out of money. Maybe we should get the trash can too. Mailbox is free, so that's fine, but the trash can we have to spend like, you know, 220 simoleons on. I guess there are cheaper ones, but like this to me is an outdoor trash can. Wait, this high school one's only 80. I think I might stick to that one instead. Okay, and in the same vein, we should definitely buy the bathroom stuff first too, because that way like the bathroom probably could be done with just these things. It's not ideal, but if it has to be, it could be. Okay, and at this rate, maybe I'll just buy the bedroom stuff too. I think the kid needs a toy, maybe a nightstand. We really can't put much else in here, can we? I guess it helps that the room is really small, because then you've got an excuse for it not having very much in it. I thought I was gonna have a desk. That is very bold of you to assume, Kayla. I mean, I can try, but like, we're definitely cutting it a little bit close furniture-wise. Oh, this is so not ideal. Like, this is such a weird layout in here. I'm not really sure if we'll be able to have a table. I would like to put a TV, but that's kind of expensive. And the dining table, see, that's 255. I guess it would be really nice if we had a dining table. It makes the space feel like it's more full, right? And we still have 500 simoleons. It's not a lot of money, but we still have 500 simoleons. All right, let's try really, really hard to make these rooms seem cute. I'm kind of thinking that maybe doing an accent wall like this could be fun because it brings in some more color into this room. This is so sad. It's like actually sad. Maybe the bookshelf stuff, because that's kind of cheap and then it's functional. You've got a bookshelf. Or maybe I should put that on the desk. Maybe the kid can have a lamp. It's 45 simoleons. If we use the free rug, maybe that kind of ties the color scheme together a little bit. Is the purple one better? No, I actually think this blue one's a little bit better. We could paint all of the walls in here pink and then have like the blue bed and the blue rug and Blarfy, and maybe that's it. I think this room is too dark too. Should I like shrink it? No. I mean, it's possible to do do that from the outside. It would probably look okay from the outside if we did that, but from the inside, is that too small? It being smaller is a good thing, because then we can actually make it look full. You know what? Maybe that is a lot better. It's functional. Your Sims can walk around in here. Trust me, I've done smaller rooms than this and it still works. And then maybe if we got like a standing mirror or something, because functionally, gameplay wise, as long as you have a mirror, your Sim can like change their appearance and stuff. We probably can't afford a dresser, but the mirror should serve that purpose. And then in the kitchen, we have not done anything. So let's think about this. We still have 496 simoleons, which is actually pretty good. I think we can probably do a lot with that amount of money, at least in a space like this. Maybe the white cabinets are for the best. And we could have like a light green on the walls everywhere, maybe. I don't love all of the white furniture. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more, you know, something. It just needs something else. But we could do like the wooden furniture. And then maybe we could change the couch out for something else. I know that Nifty Knitting has a couch, but I don't know how cheap it is. Oh, it's 400. But you see, my thought process is like, oh, if we put that couch, then it at least looks a little bit more interesting. But maybe that point still stands. Maybe that's okay. I guess realistically, I don't really know what else we would buy with this money, so it might be worth it to have like a slightly better looking couch. I mean, I guess artwork. We could buy artwork with this money, but it's too expensive. It's all too expensive. This is 110 only, which isn't that bad compared to some of the other things that we've been seeing. Oh, that's pretty cute. Maybe I'll use that one. And that leaves us with 76 simoleons. Oh my God. How is this place so expensive? I've made it like literally as small as physically possible too. Okay, we need to put something on this front bit. We could probably get rid of one of the lights. I know it's a bit dark in here, but having one less light would probably help us. Oh, how much does the umbrella stand cost? Because we use seasons. Oh, 150 for some umbrellas? No. Well, now that I'm here, I'm like, what other kind of nifty knitting stuff could we use? Because it might be kind of, oh, these are 100 for the octopus? Never mind. I was thinking it might be kind of cute to use some of this stuff, but maybe we could put like a hanging plant or something. That's only 50. And that helps with the corner because this like wall is kind of bland. We're gonna have to use debug landscaping. I think there's no way otherwise. Maybe the last thing can be a window on this wall. Okay, we have 18 simoleons left. Is there like literally anything? I mean, we could get some strange sprouts. That would be fun. There might be some like cutesy kid stuff. Like I know Seasons has some kind of fun little decals. These are only 5 simoleons. And then if you look around, there's actually some kind of cute, like look, this one has a little star. Oh, these are bigger. Wait, what do you got? There's a lot of like holiday stuff, but you see these little flowers that I feel like actually kind of matches the room somehow. There's, you know, I guess green on the wallpaper, but that's simple and it's only 5 simoleons. Maybe that helps the kids' room. I really like those actually. Is there anything else that might work, or are these all too like holiday seeming? Oh, that's really cute. I think I might not put one in this room though. I think they're all like too holiday themed. All right, let's break out the debug for the rest of the build. bb dot show live edit objects. Okay, did that not work? bb dot show live edit objects. Come on, you mean my fake trees? Here we go. Okay, if we did not have debug landscaping, we would be doomed. This is like actually the only way that we can function with a lot this cheap. Otherwise, they would have nothing. Like you just couldn't afford it. Okay, I might get rid of this foundation for a sec. I mean, to be honest, we could probably get rid of it altogether, but I kind of like having a little bit of separation between the ground and the house. Should I put the trash can in the front? We can't really afford anything else, so do we just put the trash can there and act like it's, you know, decor or something? I mean, that might be the move. If we just embrace it and we act like we wanted it to be there, maybe it'll make it look nice, right? Okay, I don't like that bush. I don't know how to, it's so symmetrical, I think is the problem. I am scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to find something, and I scrolled past all the good stuff, I think. Maybe if we got like some smaller trees, like something like this, because this is a little bit like, I don't know, I was gonna say bushier, but this is a little bit more like substantial down closer to the house as opposed to the big, long, tall trees. So maybe this would like look a little bit better down here. And maybe it could just like not have anything else there. Maybe it just is up one and that's the landscaping. We'll have to do some terrain paint to kind of blend it in better. Something like that. Maybe a little bit of dirt underneath the bushes and underneath the house. I forgot to paint this part. Luckily it's free. Otherwise that would be very bad. Okay, well we did use the high school pack, but only for the trash can. So it's making me wonder if there's anything else from the high school pack that is cheap enough to put in this. I mean, there's empty photo booth frames. There's expensive decor. This pier thing is only 5 simoleons. I don't really know if any of this is like, you know, bedroom decor. I guess we have these like neon things. That's also only 5 simoleons, but I'm also not sure if this is like bedroom decor or not, right? Maybe if we had like the little clouds above the bed. Is that weird or is it cute? I honestly don't know, so I'm asking a serious question here. I mean, this whole interior is kind of cutesy, so maybe it's all right. I wonder if maybe we could change the color of this tile to be like not all plain white. It's a light blue. Is there literally anything else that can be done? I mean, we didn't use the cheapest mirror. Maybe if I use this one and then put it in the blue color. Is that like super ugly though? Or is it fun? I mean, that saves us like, what, like 10 simoleons or something? I don't think we can buy anything else with that money, so maybe it was worth it just to have the plain mirror again. Yeah, probably. Okay, I guess unless there's a little cute toilet-themed decor object. You know, I love these neon signs, but I'm not sure they're very like bathroomy, right? So maybe we should stop. Maybe we should just call it. Okay, in total, 9,992 simoleons. Not bad. I kind of like the dark green and black color scheme on the outside too. I think it's kind of cute. Uh-oh. No, don't do that. Stop. I've had my game crash one too many times from like telling the gallery to try and go online. Let's save first and then we try again. Let's upload that to the gallery. Hopefully it'll work this time. Fingers crossed. Okay, seems like it was fine. No game crashing. We're free. You know, I really do like this house. I think a super good tip for building like really cheap starter homes in the game is to try and shrink them. I know I was like, I want to build the biggest house as cheap as possible, but really I meant like big as in 2 bedrooms, maybe 3. I think 3 might be a stretch, but I guess if you didn't have a TV and a computer, you probably could pull it off. So big, it's got 2 bedrooms, but they're not big bedrooms because when you make the bedrooms bigger, you have to pay a lot of money for like walls and stuff. And then you also have like big empty spaces and it looks like it's not full. But this house looks completely full, right? It doesn't seem empty. It doesn't seem like I tried to make a super cheap house, and that makes it okay. Also, staircases, very expensive. If you can avoid a staircase, you can make a cheaper house. To build like a second floor in general is like really pricey, but also the stairs cost hundreds of simoleons. It's really tough to do like a 2-story house for this cheap. Maybe we could try that next time. We try and build an under 10K 2-story house. I mean, if you think about it, right? It would be like basically just, oh, I can't even show you. Oh my God, hang on, let me cheat for money. It would be like probably that big, but on the first and second floor, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do it, right? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love building starter homes. I think it's so fun. If you like better builds than just starter homes, I do a lot of those too, so I can link one down below for you, and you can feel free to subscribe so you don't miss them. Thank you so much for watching. Have the best rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. You know, I did something really mean today. I built a rags to riches house and I didn't use Stanley Humphrey for it. And for that, I just want to say I'm really sorry. I will never do something horrible like this again. I promise. Please forgive me.